My girlfriend is a little possessive. She has a tracker on my phone and wiped out every single female contact I had. But every time I call her honey, she blushes. My best friend says I'm hopelessly whipped, a lost cause. But I mean, she calls me baby. Ethan, do you love me? Maya's voice drifted in from the kitchen, mixed with a rhythmic, grating sound. I was sprawled on the couch, deep in a video game, and didn't even look up. Of course. How much? Like if the universe exploded and I was reincarnated as a mosquito, I'd still find you and bite you kind of love. The grating sound stopped. She walked out, holding the German Wusthof chef's knife. Its polished surface was so clean it reflected my own dumbfounded face. She tested the edge with her thumb, then looked up at me, her dark eyes as deep as twin wells. Be specific. I put down my phone and held up 3 fingers. Specifics are, if right here, right now, you decided you wanted to mince me up for tacos, I'd jump into the meat grinder myself. Save you the effort. The corner of her mouth twitched. Not a smile, but her gaze softened a little. Smooth talker. She placed the knife on the coffee table with a heavy clank. Then she squeezed onto the couch next to me, pressing her whole body against mine, her hair brushing against my chin. Her shampoo had a bitter almond scent she'd blended herself. Who were you watching just now? Her fingers found my Adam's apple, tracing it lightly. A streamer. This absolute unit of a guy playing a fantasy RPG. A woman. A dude. His pecs are bigger than mine. You can check my history. I handed her my phone. She actually did it. She checked every page of my browser history. When she was done, her fingers were still resting on my neck. Baby, she said suddenly. Yeah. Your pulse is so fast right here, she murmured. It always beats this fast when I touch you. Why? If my heart doesn't race when you touch me, am I even doing this right? I turned my head. Why don't you get a little closer and listen to my heart? It's going even faster. She pushed me away, the tips of her ears turning pink. You're shameless. Okay, damn, we're starting off this intense. She's literally sharpening a knife for her boyfriend. That whole pulse conversation just did something to me. The knife was still on the table. I reached over and picked it up, inspecting the blade. Honey, does this need to be sharpened? I think the last time I saw you do it was last month. Her head snapped toward me. You remember? I remember everything about you. I put the knife back down and wrapped an arm around her shoulder. You were wearing that white sundress. It got soaked by the sprinklers and I could see through it. I stared for a good 30 seconds before you glared at me, and I told you there'd be a cover charge if I kept looking. Her face went completely red. She pinched my arm. Shut up. Nope. I leaned in, my nose brushing against her cheek. Honey, call me baby again. No. That's not what you said last night. Ethan. She used my full name, a warning sign she was about to get angry. But I saw her eyelashes tremble. I'd won. Right here, baby, I said, stealing her line. She stared at me, and after a few seconds, she grabbed the collar of my shirt and bit my lip. Not hard, just fierce. The taste of bitter almonds flooded my senses. The second my hand touched her waist, she pulled back, picked up the knife, and walked back to the kitchen. Making dinner. I am hungry. The steady, rhythmic sound of a knife being sharpened started up again. I licked my lips. They were still tingling. A WhatsApp message popped up. It was my best friend, Leo. You on for a raid tonight? New expansion dropped. I typed back, nah, staying with my girlfriend. Dude, again? Does she have you on a leash or something? A voluntary one. You're a lost cause. Terminal case of being whipped. Just lie down and accept your fate. I didn't reply. I opened my phone's front-facing camera and checked my neck. The spot her fingers had traced was a little red, but the skin wasn't broken. Perfect. The sound of the whetstone was steady, hypnotic. I sank back into the couch, opened Amazon, and searched for professional-grade whetstone. Open up. Maya held a piece of steak on a fork to my lips, her eyes locked on mine. I took a bite, chewed, and gave her a thumbs up. Michelin star level. Liar. She cut a piece for herself. It's overcooked. I like it well done. It's got a good chew to it. Reminds me of when you bite me. Her foot kicked my shin under the table. I grinned and pushed all the broccoli from my plate onto hers. She frowned. Eat it. It's gross. Vitamins. A kiss from you has way more. She put down her fork and knife and just looked at me. I immediately ducked my head and started shoveling broccoli into my mouth, chewing with an exaggerated grimace. The corner of her mouth curved up for a split second. Your company retreat is next week. What time will you be back? She asked, her tone casual. A chill went down my spine. I'm not going. Why not? It's pointless. A long, boring hike. I'd rather be at home looking at you. Go, she said, wiping her mouth. That new intern in your department. Is she going too? And there it was. Which one? I played dumb. Long hair, big eyes. The one who brought you coffee last Wednesday, she said, her voice flat and even. You said thanks and smiled at her. I racked my brain. Oh, right. That. The whole department had ordered coffee, and the new girl, Chloe, had just handed me mine. Did I smile? Probably. It was just basic politeness. That's Chloe. She has a boyfriend, and they're super serious. I took a spoonful of soup. Besides, she got my order wrong. I wanted a black Americano, and she got me a latte. It was sickeningly sweet. Maya didn't say anything, just twisted a lock of hair around her finger. I scooted my chair closer, its legs scraping against the floor. I took her hand and placed it on my cheek. Honey, feel this face. Who else would it possibly work on besides you? Her fingers were cool against my skin as she traced my cheekbone. You're so full of it. It's the truth. I leaned closer. There are only two things in my field of vision. You, and things that are not you. My brain basically auto-blurs the second category. She finally smiled, a small, faint thing, but her eyes brightened. Then go to the retreat. Be back before 8. 7. I bargained. If I'm 1 minute late, you can break my legs. Okay, she nodded, her fingers tightening around mine. I'll be waiting. That level of control. But why do I find it kind of sweet? This dude has survival instincts down to a science. My brain basically auto-blurs the second category, El Mayo. After dinner, she washed the dishes, and I stood next to her drying. The water ran as she worked. Her sleeves rolled up to reveal slender wrists and the faint blue of her veins. I stared. What are you looking at? She asked without turning around. At how beautiful you are. Shallow. I can be deep, too. The way you wash dishes, the angle of your wrist, the curve of the water over your fingers. I could write a thesis on it. She splashed a handful of water in my face. I wiped it off, grinning, and moved in to hug her from behind, resting my chin on her shoulder. Honey, you smell so good. It's dish soap. Then it's angel-scented dish soap. She jabbed her elbow into my stomach, but not hard. I held on, refusing to move. She let me, continuing to wash the dishes. Outside the window, the lights from other people's apartments glowed in soft, yellow clusters. Ethan, yeah, if you ever lie to me, she said, her voice so soft it was almost lost in the sound of the running water. I'll take the parts of you that lied, one by one, and remove them. I tightened my arms around her. Then you'll definitely leave empty-handed. The only treasure in my vault is named Maya, and she's been yours for a long time. She didn't say anything, but her neck turned pink. I kissed the flushed tip of her ear. What is this lethal grade sweet talk? Whipped and proud, a possessive girl and a whipped guy. Lock them up and throw away the key. 3. I ended up going to the company retreat, mainly because Maya left a mark on my collarbone that I couldn't hide. A coworker nudged me, wiggling his eyebrows. I showed it off proudly. The cat got me. That's one fierce cat, my colleague Dave said with a laugh. Yeah, she's a rare breed. I'm the only one who can handle her. Halfway up the trail, the intern, Chloe, came over to ask me about some project data. I answered her, maintaining a good 2 feet of distance, my gaze fixed on a bird in the tree above her head. The second I was done, I pulled out my phone and texted Maya, reporting for duty. Hiking in progress. No wandering eyes, no idle chit-chat. Only thinking of you. She didn't reply immediately. I checked my phone every 5 minutes. When we reached the summit, my phone buzzed. It was a picture from Maya, our living room, with the Wusthof knife on the coffee table next to the open box for the new whetstone. The caption read, "Trying out the new stone." I zoomed in. The blade was gleaming. I texted back, "Make it extra shiny. I want to see my handsome face in it when I get home tonight." She replied with a single period. I laughed out loud at the period. Dave sidled up next to me. "Texting your girlfriend? You look disgustingly happy." "Yeah, she's asking what I want for dinner." "You guys are solid." "Damn right." On the way down the mountain, I hung back and called her. It rang 3 times before she picked up, saying nothing. Honey, I'm heading down. On my way back now, I said in a low voice. Have you eaten? No. Why not? What if your stomach acts up? Waiting for you. Don't wait. Eat something. How about I pick up those cinnamon-roasted pecans you love on the way? Okay. Good girl. Give me a kiss. There were 2 seconds of silence on the other end, then a barely audible moi before she hung up immediately. I stood there, holding my phone, grinning like an idiot for a full minute. OMG, the sweetness is off the charts. A soft moi from Maya is all I need to survive. The pecans. Get the pecans. I got home 20 minutes early, holding a warm paper cone of cinnamon-roasted pecans. When I opened the door, only a single floor lamp was on, casting a dim, yellow glow. Maya was sitting on the rug, a laptop in her lap, lines of code I didn't understand scrolling across the screen. The knife was beside her, freshly sharpened, its edge a line of silver light. I took off my shoes, walked over, and gently placed the bag of pecans on top of her head. She looked up and glared at me. An offering for my queen, I said, sitting down and starting to peel a pecan. They're fresh. Smell amazing. She closed her laptop and watched me. I'd peel one, and she'd eat it. We didn't speak. After 5 or 6, she finally asked, "How was today?" The mountain was high, my legs are sore, my coworkers are loud, and I miss you a lot. Did anyone talk to you? Yeah. Dave asked if the cat scratch hurt. I told him it felt fantastic. She kicked me. I grabbed her ankle and tickled the sole of her foot. She was ticklish and squirmed away, finally letting out a soft laugh that was mostly air. I seized the opportunity, pulling her into my lap and smudging her face with my pecan-dusted fingers. It's dirty, she complained. My dirt is your dirt. I ducked my head, our noses touching. Let me check. Did you miss me so much you lost weight? You got fatter. Where? My hand started to wander downwards. She clamped a hand on my wrist, her eyes startlingly bright in the dim light. Ethan, yeah, you have someone else's scent on you. She leaned in, her nose brushing the side of my neck. Perfume. A woman's. My stomach dropped. I did a mental rewind. On the way down the trail, Chloe had tripped, and I'd grab her arm to steady her for a split second. That was enough to leave a scent. Probably from the subway. It was packed. I said, my face a mask of innocence. I'm driving to work from now on, eliminating all sources of contamination. She stared at me for a long time, so long that I started to sweat. Then, she suddenly smiled and leaned in to kiss my chin. I'll trust you. This time. I let out a breath and pulled her closer. But I need to leave my mark, she whispered, her fingers sliding under the collar of my shirt. Danger? Ethan, danger. Is her nose part bloodhound? Leave a mark. The kind of mark I think it is. The next morning, Maya stood by the door, fixing my tie, her fingers moving slowly, deliberately. When she was done, she tugged on the knot, pulling my head down. Come home early. I will. Send me a picture of your lunch. Okay. Call me on your lunch break. You got it. And if that woman gets near you again, her finger traced my collarbone. I'll come pick you up from your office. In front of everyone. My eyes lit up. Really? I'd love that. She froze. My girlfriend is this beautiful. I've been dying to show you off. I cupped her face in my hands. Come tomorrow. I'll introduce you to the whole company. Everyone meet my queen, Maya. The tips of her ears went red again. She pushed me away. You're going to be late. I walked out smiling. My mood's so good, I felt like I was floating. Waiting at a red light, I hummed a song. The driver in the next lane glanced at me. I grinned at him. He silently rolled up his window. When I got to my desk, Chloe was already there, holding a file. Ethan, can you look over these numbers for me? I took the file, leaning back in my chair to create distance. Leave it here. I'll find you when I'm done. She didn't leave. Thanks for helping me yesterday, she said quietly. No problem. Happy to help, I said, my eyes glued to my monitor as I typed. Your girlfriend? She didn't get the wrong idea, did she? She asked, her voice even smaller. I looked up and gave her a wide smile. What wrong idea? I hope she found out. It just makes her more possessive of me, and I love it. Chloe's expression froze. She mumbled an "oh" and walked away. Dave rolled over in his chair. Dude, that was brutal. Savage. I'm serious, I said, opening my WhatsApp chat with Maya and sending her a sticker that said, at the office, haven't stopped thinking about you. You're a lost cause, Dave said, shaking his head. At lunch, I took a picture of my meal in the cafeteria and sent it to Maya. Green beans, white rice, a piece of grilled chicken. Caption: a virtuous lunch, awaiting my queen's inspection. She replied, not enough protein. I'm afraid if I get too muscular, I won't be worthy of you. Smooth talker. I'll make you something extra for dinner. I smiled and put my phone away. Across the table, Dave covered his eyes. My eyes, they burn. During the afternoon meeting, I sat bolt upright, my phone on the table set to vibrate. A message from Maya came through. What are you doing? I secretly typed back. In a meeting, thinking of you. Send me a picture. I discreetly lifted my phone and took a panoramic shot of the conference room, making sure to include Dave, who was dozing off in the corner. She replied, who's sleeping? That's Dave. His kid was up all night crying. Are you tired? Exhausted. But then I think about coming home to you tonight, and I'm wide awake. Is this guy a sweet talk machine? Dave, don't drag me into this. The constant check-ins are kind of goals, not gonna lie. The director kept the meeting running late. I was anxiously checking the time when a message from Maya arrived. I'm downstairs. My heart skipped a beat. Wait for me, I'm coming. The second the meeting ended, I was the first one out the door. The elevator was packed, so I took the stairs. Pushing open the ground floor doors, I saw Maya standing under a maple tree on the sidewalk. She was wearing a dark green dress, her hair down, her profile gilded by the setting sun. A bunch of my coworkers were also leaving, their eyes drifting toward her. I strode over and, in front of God and everyone, swept her up into a hug and spun her around. Baby, you came. Her body went stiff. Ethan, put me down, she hissed. No. I kept my arm around her waist and waved at my stunned colleagues. See you guys tomorrow. My girl's here to pick me up. I took her hand and started walking toward the parking garage. Her fingernails dug into my palm. You did that on purpose. Yeah, on purpose, I said, squeezing her hand. I want everyone to know you're mine. Might save you some time on surveillance. She turned to look at me, her eyes shining, her lips pressed into a firm line. But finally, she couldn't hold it in anymore. She smiled. Idiot, you're idiot. Public claiming. Nicely done. I will gladly accept this offering of affection. She can smile. The sun is out. The birds are singing. All is right with the world. Once we were in the car, Maya pulled a small box out of her purse and handed it to me. What's this? I asked, taking it. Open it. I unwrapped it. Inside was a watch. Black face, leather strap. Simple, but the quality was obvious. I don't know much about watches, but I could tell from the brand that it wasn't cheap. Happy birthday, she said, looking out the window. A month early, in case you had other plans that day. My birthday was a month away. I was stunned. I looked from the watch to her. What's wrong? You don't like it? I'm obsessed with it. I put it on. The leather was still cool against my skin. But I'm more interested in how you secretly became a millionaire without telling me. She shot me a look. I saved up. For how long? 6 months. My heart felt like someone had squeezed it. I took her hand. Don't buy me such expensive things anymore. Keep your money for yourself. I wanted to. I leaned over and kissed her cheek. Thank you, honey. I'll love you forever. She pushed my face away. Drive. Let's go home. On the way, every time we stopped at a red light, I'd lift my wrist to look at the watch. She glanced over. Watch the road. Your love is on the watch. I have to admire it constantly. Shut up. Saving for 6 months to buy him a watch. This is the girlfriend of the century. A Yandere's love is a heavy thing. Ethan, you hit the jackpot, and you know it. She really did make extra food for dinner. Barbecue ribs and garlic butter shrimp. I was making a mess of myself eating. She sat across from me, eating slowly, her eyes on me the whole time. Is watching me eat filling you up? I asked, putting a rib in her bowl. Yes, she said, looking down and taking a small bite. You're more satisfying than the ribs. I almost choked. After dinner, I insisted on doing the dishes. She stood beside me, peeling an apple, the skin coming off in one long, continuous spiral. As I was washing, I said suddenly, Honey, let's get a cat. The hand holding the peeler stopped. Why? It's just the two of us here. It'd be nice to have another living thing around, I said, rinsing the suds off a plate. Besides, you're always calling me a dog. If we get a cat, we'll have it all. Cats scratch the furniture. Let's scratch. We'll buy a new couch. Cat hair gets everywhere. I'll vacuum. Every day. A cat will take your attention away from me, she said, putting down the apple and the knife to look at me. I turned off the water, dried my hands, and walked over to her. I looked down into her eyes. Then we'll get a dumb one. One that only loves you. Just like me. Her eyelashes fluttered. You pick. How about we go to the shelter tomorrow? It's Saturday. Okay. I kissed her forehead. Good girl. She wrapped her arms around my waist and buried her face in my chest. Ethan. Yeah. You have to stay this good. I'll always be your good boy. I ruffled her hair. Want to hear me bark? She pinched the skin on my lower back. Cut. Are we entering the wholesome domestic arc? We'll have it all. Maya is so insecure. I just want to hug her. That weekend, we went to an animal shelter. The place was a cacophony of barks and meows. Maya stood in front of the cat enclosures, looking through the glass at a blue-eyed ragdoll. The cat meowed at her. She tapped a finger against the glass. I leaned against the wall nearby, watching her profile. Sunlight streamed through the window, catching her long eyelashes and the tiny mole on the tip of her nose. I felt a familiar stirring of affection. You like that one? I asked. His eyes look like yours, she said. I leaned closer to the glass. The cat looked back at me, its blue eyes wide and innocent. My eyes aren't half that pretty. Yes, they are, she said softly. They look just like that every time you lie to me. A chill ran down my spine. I immediately pledged my allegiance. I haven't lied to you recently. Last Wednesday, you said you were working late, but you were playing games with Leo, she said, turning to look at me. He posted a screenshot on his Instagram story. I recognized your hand. I was speechless. Leo, that idiot. I'm sorry. I surrendered immediately. From now on, all gaming sessions will be reported in advance, and you will be formally invited to spectate. I'm not watching, she said, turning back to the cat. It's loud. A volunteer came over to tell us about the cat. Maya listened intently, asking a ton of questions. What kind of food? How often for deworming? Was it prone to sickness? Did neutering hurt? By the end, even the volunteer was smiling. First-time cat parent, huh? Don't worry, we'll walk you through everything. Maya nodded and looked at me. Ready to buy? I asked, pulling out my wallet. I want the rag doll, she said, pointing. You got it. We paid the adoption fee, bought food, litter, and toys, and carried everything out to the car. The cat meowed softly in its carrier. Maya sat in the passenger seat with the carrier on her lap, poking her fingers through the grate to gently stroke it. Don't be scared, she said, her voice as soft as a marshmallow. We're going home. I drove, glancing over at her from time to time. Her head was bowed, her gaze fixed on the cat, a faint, gentle curve to her lips. My heart melted. This is so healing to watch. Even the most possessive girl has a soft spot. The cat is the glue that will hold this beautiful, terrifying relationship together. When we got home, we let the cat out. He was timid at first, hiding under the sofa. Maya lay on the floor, trying to coax him out with a feather wand. Here, kitty, come on out. The cat didn't move. I got down on the floor next to her, our heads touching. He probably thinks you're a supervillain. She glared at me. I have a friendly face. Let me try. I reached under the couch, scratching gently. The cat sniffed my fingers, then slowly crept out. I scooped him up. The little guy was trembling in my arms. Maya stood up and held out her hands. Give him to me. I passed him over. She held him a little stiffly, but her touch was light. The kitten looked up at her and meowed. She smiled. A real smile, her eyes curving into bright crescents. What should we name him? I asked. She thought for a moment. Nugget. A bit basic. Then, Cash. Even more basic. You think of something, then. How about Velcro? I said, poking the kitten's nose. Because he's going to stick to you and never let go. Maya looked down, rubbing her cheek against the cat's head. Velcro. As if on cue, the kitten let out a loud meow. Velcro it is, I declared. Velcro. That's definitely something the guy would come up with. A family of 3. Her smile is so sweet, I think I'm getting a cavity. 6 with a cat. Life got a lot busier. Scooping the litter box, filling the food bowl, brushing his fur. Maya handled most of it. I was her assistant. She bought Velcro a bunch of tiny outfits and took pictures of him. In the photos, she'd be holding the cat, her expression soft. I stole one and set it as my phone wallpaper. When Leo saw it, he was aghast. Ethan, have you seriously become a crazy cat person? Got a problem with that? No, it's just, You've changed, man. You used to be all about bars and clubs. Now you just go home and pet your cat. That's because I hadn't met my girl yet, I said, scrolling through my phone to a new picture Maya had posted on her Instagram story. Velcro sleeping on her lap. The caption, mine. I liked it and commented, and me. She replied with a period. That night, Velcro jumped onto the bed, trying to squeeze in between me and Maya. She gently pushed him off. He jumped back up. She pushed him off, he jumped back up. The third time, Maya picked him up by the scruff, carried him to the bedroom door, and shut him out. The cat started scratching at the door. I laughed. You heartless woman. She slipped under the covers, her back to me. He's noisy. I wrapped my arms around her from behind. What about me? Am I noisy? You're worse. Then I'll shut up. I pressed closer, my hand resting on her waist. She didn't move. After a moment, she turned to face me. In the dark, her eyes were bright. Ethan, yeah, you can only be mine. Always have been, I whispered, kissing her eyelid. Even my sleep talking is just me saying your name. Liar. It's true. Don't believe me? Stay up tonight and listen. She pinched my arm. I laughed and pulled her tighter. The cat was still scratching at the door, a faint, insistent sound. Let him in, I said. No. Just for tonight? This is the only time. I got up and opened the door. Velcro shot inside, leaped onto the bed, and curled into a ball at Maya's feet. She didn't push him away. I got back in bed and reached across the cat to take her hand. Good night, honey. Good night. The cat. I should be under the bed, not in the middle of it. Even my sleep talking is just me saying your name. A master at work. The family hierarchy is crystal clear. 7 Monday morning, my director called me into his office. Ethan, what's the deal with you and Maya from the tech department downstairs? My stomach clenched. She's my girlfriend. Is there a problem, sir? The director pushed his glasses up his nose. We've had a complaint that she's always coming up here to see you at lunch. It's not a good look. We just eat together in the cafeteria. It doesn't affect our work, I said with a smile, mentally cursing out whoever complained. The company discourages interdepartmental relationships. Just be more discreet. Yes, sir. I will. I left his office, my expression grim. Back at my desk, I'll message Maya. Don't come up for lunch today. I'll come down to you. She replied instantly. Why? My boss had a chat with me. Said it's not a good look. Who said that? No idea. Don't worry about it. I'll just come to you. At noon, I waited for her outside the tech department. Maya came out, and she did not look happy. What's wrong? I asked, taking her hand. Someone from your department left a comment on our internal server, she said, her voice cold. It said to tell your girlfriend to stop coming around, that it was annoying to see. A hot flash of anger went through me. Who? Give me their user ID. Don't worry about it, she said, looking at me. I'll handle it. I felt a prickle of unease. Honey, don't do anything crazy. It's just some dumb gossip. It means nothing. They were talking about you, she said, her eyes fixed on mine. That's not allowed. I don't care what they say about me. I just care if you're upset. I put my arm around her shoulder. Come on, let's get lunch. She was quiet through the whole meal. I tried telling her jokes, but she wouldn't even smile. Finally, I sighed and put down my chopsticks. Maya, look at me. She raised her eyes. I'm Ethan, and for the rest of my life, you're the only one for me. Whatever anyone else says is just noise. It's not worth your energy to get upset over. I took her hand. Smile for me, please. The corner of her mouth twitched, but it wasn't a smile. Okay, how about this? I leaned in, lowering my voice. Tonight, I'll wear that outfit you bought me, and you can do whatever you want with me. Her ears turned red. She glared at me. You're shameless. I only want you. I kissed her fingers. Come on, just a little smile. She finally smiled, a faint one, but her eyes crinkled. Idiot. Someone is about to have a very bad day. The tech queen is about to go to work. That outfit, is that something I'm allowed to know about? That afternoon, I was on edge. I had a bad feeling something was going to happen. Right before quitting time, news came from the tech department. Their internal system had been breached. A string of curses had been left, targeting someone in our department. No one knew who did it, but the target's computer had been blue screening all afternoon. I knew exactly who did it. When I got home, Maya was cooking dinner, with Velcro weaving around her ankles. Everything seemed normal. I walked over and hugged her from behind. Thanks for sticking up for me, honey. Her body went rigid. What? The thing with the tech department, I murmured. Don't do it again. I can handle it myself. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, you don't know? I smiled. But next time, don't. You shouldn't have to get your hands dirty for people like that. She didn't speak, just kept stirring the food in the pan. But, I added, nuzzling her neck, you look so damn cool when you're angry for me. She jabbed me with her elbow. You're annoying. Of course it was her. Fiercely protective girlfriend mode activated. That line, you shouldn't get your hands dirty, is so smooth. A few days later, the office rumor was that the co-worker who had complained had voluntarily transferred to a branch office in another state. The reason was unknown. Maya never came up to our department again. Instead, I went down to report for duty every day at noon. The way my co-workers looked at me now had a new layer of awe. Dave cornered me one day. Your girlfriend, is she like a hacker? I gave him my most innocent look. A hacker? She's just a normal programmer. Writes code all day until her brain melts. Yeah, right. A normal programmer makes old man Hemlock request a transfer to the middle of nowhere. Hemlock was underperforming. It has nothing to do with my girlfriend. Dave opened his mouth and closed it. He patted me on the shoulder. You, take care of yourself, man. I just smiled. Take care of myself? I was loving every minute of it. That night, I told Maya the story as a joke. She was gently brushing Velcro's fur. They're scared of you, I said. Scared of what? She asked, not looking up. Scared that if you get upset one day, you'll format all their hard drives. That's ridiculous. It is, I said, crouching down to look at her. So, don't pay any attention to them. Use that time to look at me instead. She looked up, poking me in the forehead. You're the best thing to look at. Obviously. I took her hand and kissed her fingers. The best-looking guy in the universe. A perfect match for you. Velcro jumped over, squeezing in between us. Maya and I both laughed at the same time. Co-workers. Are we just a part of their weird foreplay? You're the best thing to look at. Aw, sweet. The cat always wins. 9 on the weekend. Maya said she wanted to go to IKEA. I was surprised. She'd always hated crowded places. What's the special occasion? Velcro needs a cat tree, she said, then paused. And we need some new things, too. What do we need? You'll see when we get there. IKEA was a madhouse. Maya held my hand so tight her nails dug into my palm. Her own palm was sweaty. We can go home if you're not feeling it, I said softly. I'm feeling it. She pulled me straight to the furniture section. We looked at beds, sofas, cabinets. She finally stopped in front of a dark gray sectional. This one, she said. What's wrong with our current sofa? It has cat scratches on it. I told you that doesn't matter. I want to replace it, she said, looking up at me. With a color you like. My heart went soft again. If you like it, I like it. Gray. It hides dirt, she said, running a hand over the fabric. You can play your games on it, lie down on it. And what about you? I'll watch you. I smiled and put my arm around her. Okay, we'll get it. We also bought a cat tree, a new rug, and a few throw pillows. The cart was piled high. As we passed the kitchen section, she stopped in front of a set of knives. The same brand as her Westhoff at home, but a newer model. Want to get them? I asked. She shook her head. I'm used to the old one. What about a whetstone? Need another one? Yes. I put one in the cart. After checking out, we ate at the IKEA restaurant. She got the Swedish meatballs and mashed potatoes. I got the steak. Halfway through the meal, she said suddenly, Ethan, let's get a new apartment. I paused. Why? What's wrong with our place? It's too small, she said, poking at a meatball. I want a den for you to play your games. A sunroom for Velcro to sunbathe. And a bigger kitchen so I can cook more things. I looked at her. Her eyelashes were lowered, her expression serious and a little vulnerable. Can we afford that? I asked. I have some savings. You have your 401k, she said, looking up. If it's not enough, I can take on some freelance projects. No, that's too much work. I took her hand. We'll save together. I'll quit buying so many video games, cancel a few subscriptions. We can save a lot in a year. She shook her head. You don't have to do that. I want to, I smiled. It's worth it to get a bigger place with you. Her ears turned pink, and she went back to her food. A new apartment. They're really in it for the long haul. She's planning a future that revolves around him. A man willing to buy fewer video games. He's a keeper. On the drive home, she fell asleep, her head resting against the window. While waiting at a red light, I watched her my heart feeling full to bursting. My phone buzzed. A message from Leo. College reunion next week. You coming? I typed back. Nope. Why not? A bunch of people are bringing their partners. My girl doesn't like crowds. Dude, she has you completely wrapped around her finger. And I love it. The light turned green. I put my phone down and gently guided Maya's head onto my shoulder. She didn't wake up, just shifted slightly and kept sleeping. Velcro was snoring in his carrier. The traffic moved forward, streetlights streaking past, one after another. This is so peacefully domestic. I love it. I could watch 100 episodes of just this. 10. I ended up going to the reunion because Maya said, you should go. I thought I'd misheard her. What did you say? Go, she said, straightening the collar of my shirt. I'll go with you. Seriously? Yes. So your old friends don't think I'm too controlling. I laughed. They already know. I brag about it on Instagram all the time. We're still going, she said coolly. To assert my claim, I pulled her in and kissed her. Yes, ma'am. On the night of the reunion, Maya wore a simple black dress and light makeup. I couldn't stop staring. Honey, if you go out looking like that, I'm going to get jealous. Then be jealous, she said, applying lipstick. And don't drink too much tonight. I won't touch a drop. The reunion was at a loud Korean barbecue place. The second we walked into the private room, the place erupted. Jo, Isin, you actually brought her. Nice to meet you. You're gorgeous. Maya just nodded, not saying a word, her arm linked tightly with mine. We sat down, and drinks were poured. I said I was driving and couldn't drink. My old classmates wouldn't hear of it and tried to force a glass on me. Maya reached out and took the glass from my hand. I'll drink for him. The table went silent. She tipped her head back and downed the entire glass of beer without flinching. Damn, she can drink. Ethan, you lucky bastard. I looked at her, my heart swelling with a mix of warmth and heartache. I took her hand. Don't drink anymore. I'm fine. For the rest of the night, whenever someone tried to offer me a drink, Maya intercepted. After a few glasses, I'd had enough and wrestled a glass away to drink it myself. She glared at me. You said you wouldn't. I changed my mind. She pinched my thigh under the table. The conversation turned to what everyone was up to. Someone asked, Ethan, I hear you're totally whipped these days? I wrapped my arm around Maya's shoulder. Not whipped, just happily in love. Yeah, right. You post about her on your story 10 times a day. And I love it. Maya kept her head down, eating, but her ears were bright red. Someone else piped up. So, Maya, Ethan was a total player back in college. How'd you finally nail him down? Maya looked up and met the person's gaze. He chased me. For real? Ethan made the first move. I immediately raised my hand. It was me. I chased her relentlessly. Begged, pleaded, wore her down. It was a miracle she said yes. The table erupted in laughter. The corner of Maya's mouth curved up, and she put a piece of grilled meat on my plate. Halfway through dinner, I went to the restroom. On my way back, I overheard a few classmates talking in the hallway. Ethan's a completely different person. She's got him on a tight leash. His girlfriend seems kind of cold, though. Barely said a word. I heard she's super controlling. Checks his phone and everything. I was about to walk over when I heard Maya's voice. Am I? The guys jumped, startled. Maya was standing right behind them, holding a glass of juice, her expression calm. He likes it when I'm in control. Oh, all right, right? Whatever you say. Yeah, as long as Ethan's happy. Of course he's happy, Maya said, taking a step forward. You're his friends. You should know what he used to be like. We know. And what is he like now? He's good. Stable. Exactly, Maya said, her voice soft but firm. So don't talk about him behind his back. It makes me unhappy. The color drained from their faces. I leaned against the wall, unable to suppress a smile. Maya turned and saw me, freezing for a second. I walked over and took her hand. What's the chat? I asked cheerfully. Nothing, the guys mumbled, making a quick escape. Classmates. So we're just part of the roleplay now? Got it. I squeezed Maya's hand. That was hot, honey. Let's go home. You got it. We said our goodbyes and left. When the cool night air hit us, Maya swayed a little. I caught her. You drank too much? No. Your face is flushed. It's just hot in there. Piggyback ride. So sweet. I smiled, turned, and crouched down in front of her. Hop on. I'll carry you. No. Come on. She hesitated for a moment before climbing onto my back. I stood up, carrying her, and started walking slowly toward the car. Her chin rested on my shoulder, her warm breath against my ear. Ethan, yeah, was I too harsh today? You were fierce. It was incredible. You liked it. I loved it, I said, turning my head to kiss her cheek. Next time someone calls me whipped, I'll fight them. This isn't a leash. It's the best damn thing that's ever happened to me. She tightened her arms around my neck and whispered, "You're my baby, always." There were no stars in the sky, but the streetlights stretched our shadow long behind us. Velcro was waiting for us at home. Always. Okay, you two better stay together forever. The end.